Throw Gang, we are joined by the Silver Tab Titan, Lauren Schlossman, and myself, the Escalade Emirati, James Harris. Welcome to the weekly Running of the Boys, with today's full episode only available on
Patreon.com/throwingfits.
Before we get into the best tacos in LA, hands
Facts.
down, Fear of God Miracles.
He has
And
risen.
Booking a one-way ticket to Brick City. Let's get to a fit check.
Why don't you lead us off?
Marty McGee over here.
Why don't you lead us off, bro?
All right, well, I got the Jound. Oh, damn, was I wearing these when we met him? I don't even know.
When we saw Justin, what did you wear to the show?
I forget. The Jound A6 with some LA bird shit. Fresh outside the taco truck.
Fresh out the ass.
Yeah, fresh out the bird ass. On the feet. Then I got these socks that unfortunately are not no-show, but they're kind of doing a little no-show thing right now. I think from Anonymousism. Got the needle shorts that fresh off the rack at Mohawk General Store.
You're in haul mode right now.
I know. The Maxfield LA, fresh off the fucking racks from Varsity? Yeah, Varsity. The Roa knit pullover, maybe my current favorite John.
Is it hemp?
I don't think so.
Oh. It feels super natty.
Yeah, which is like
That's
which is like stands in contrast to like the rest of their apparel, which is like super high tech. Fucking, climbing Mount Everest shit.
We're looking at some like $1,000 like windbreaker.
Yeah.
And it was like it was like more than Ripstop. It was like the next evolution. I'm like,
but it was like
invented this?
It was see-through.
It was wild.
It was see-through, but it was bulletproof.
Their apparel is the craziest shit
I know.
out right now.
I think
insane.
it's very good. I mean, I've never owned a pair of the boots. I have heard that they're like I
have a pair.
They're a little uncomfortable. They take a long time to break in, but the apparel is like very, I don't know, it's fucking tickling my pickle, I'll tell you that.
I don't know who can afford it besides a fucking rich ass podcaster like yourself, but it is a can't miss fucking GORP brand right
This
now.
isn't crazy. And this isn't like GORPy. This is like, I was a little scared that it was going to be like a little too easy. Like,
oh, really?
Fucking, like,
well, it's a little
knit.
cropped too.
Yeah, it's super cropped.
Wait, how much? That was like 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before the friends and family, But it was sold out on the Mohawk site because I saw it and I was like, oh shit, this is fire. What is it? And it was sold. The medium was sold out. But the lovely associate was like, she fucking dug through. She was gone in the basement for like an hour.
Digging in the crates.
DITC, RP Big L. And pull one out. It's the
Sick.
last medium. So got that. And I was like, fuck, I have to buy it now.
100%.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, no, I'm good. Like, sorry for the 15 minutes of your day you just wasted.
Yeah. The boxers, or the hat is vintage Yankees hat, courtesy of our boy at Fantasy Explosion. I think it's from the mid-aughts, he thinks.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you purposely bring it to like fucking rep in the City of Angels?
No, it's not. It's not like that, Lawrence.
It's a huge logo. It looks like bigger than normal. It's like a big ass Yankee.
It's a Yankees hat.
It's sick. I like it.
I wore it because I was like, yo, I need to figure out what my summer hat is. My daily driver is this summer.
What was
this?
Was it Cebu Lions previously?
No, that one's too hot.
Oh.
It was Small Talk Studio last summer.
Gotcha.
The brown joint, which got fucking torched, and that's what's gonna happen with this. It's gonna have the nice salt brim, the salt
world.
line. Maiden name on the fingers. Am I forgetting anything? Hanes boxers, full of El Russo taco truck skid marks. LA's finest.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could drink this.
The tap water here is decidedly worse in my opinion.
You could drink the tap water here, right?
No, I mean I have been. I hope I'm all. But I've also been like shitting crazy like the birds outside of El Russo.
Oh,
Do you
really?
think they're shitting because they're eating like chicharron scraps and stuff?
Yeah. Also, the shit. Yo,
Yeah.
shout out Sanino. I love this jacket. I need to put it on the IG and fucking tag you and thank you. But like, the Laura Piana storm system the bird shit did not beat off the Laura Piana.
No,
all right,
it didn't at
I was
all.
trying to go stealth wealth, and the shit was loud. Let me
Yeah.
say that. But fuck it. We ball.
Yeah.
And that is my fit check.
Okay, I am wearing Loewe crushable loafers. I have on Manresa socks. I'm wearing a new giant baggy pair of silver tabs that I acquired at
Are these your first silver tabs?
194. So I want to give you credit. You've been a silver tab warrior. I've always, and I think you look good. I've always been like, and obviously I rep for 501s very hard. That's my gene of choice, my Levi's of choice.
You're the 501 Wonderkind.
Yeah. But with silver tabs, like while you look good and while I appreciate like a baggy jean, I've always like associated them with such a time and place, like in my mind, like that '90s fashion that I thought was never really my steez until we went to 194 and I browsed through.
They only carry silver tab.
Only stock silver
which
tab
is
exclusively.
A very fire business model where it's like, yo, we're only gonna do this one kind of like niche thing from like an American giant.
Yeah, which is sick too because next door at Varsity, it's 501s, 505s, and 517s. So it's like they're not cannibalizing each other's fucking
rising tide lifts all jeans.
And I believe the homie Jose, I think I can say this. He's like, yeah, I also who works at Varsity, and gave us amazing fucking attention when we were in the store. It was pulling crazy grails off the wall for us and showing us crazy shit. But he was like, yeah, I source a lot of silver tabs like next door. So I guess if he gets silver tabs, he's like, this is for 194.
Yeah,
and I'll take the rest of it.
It's a beautiful thing.
But anyway, I tried them on, and I don't know, man. It's that fucking Loosh Larry summer vibe where I'm like, holy shit, I have been missing out.
Yeah, they look good.
You know, it's like
although
wearing
jeans at another man's toe up.
You said this. Also, by the way,
kind of suspect.
So what you're saying is that your vintage silver tabs that haven't been torn up, that's fine, even though another man's cock and balls and ass were in those pants.
Oh yeah, they was fucking. I mean, yo, we're just sleeping in hotel beds that have had bad people have had sex and have been murdered in, right?
Dude, the amount of fucking ghosts that are like sucking off fucking slumbering travelers in this hotel. This is a haunted. We're in a haunted hotel. To be clear, we'll get into it later. I have a ghost story that I want to read.
Really
spooky.
Wait, these have like a torn up knee, right?
Right here, torn thigh, and then here I got a little.
I guess just
they've been patched up in like the ass too.
Personally speaking, this is just all personal. A frayed hem on like a vintage pair of jeans, totally fine. Fades up to a certain point. Again, this is just for me. Totally fine. But when it comes to like rips, where it's like, yo, this guy was like playing football with the homies and he fell over and ripped his shit on like the concrete, or he was skating and fucking busted his ass. To me, that's like, okay, that's his story. That's his fucking contribution to the John. Okay. That's not mine. I'm just like slipping my little tuchus into what's already been fucking toe up.
I think that's valid, if not a little closed-minded. Either way, I'm happy to further the story. And also, bro, you're not going to catch me doing any of these activities because you know I'm going to embarrass myself and get bullied in public.
That's true.
But I will say that, just like, and I know...
Yo, if you had some thigh tats, whew.
Yeah, well, we'll talk tattoos in a bit. And should I preview what I think I'm going to get, or is that a spoiler?
Behind the paywall, we're going to talk about Lawrence's first ever tattoo.
Okay. Anyway, I've been, into baggier pants, and I know, like, trouser, like a great pair of baggy pleated trousers is not the same thing as a baggy pair of jeans. But, like, the overall vibe for me is... they're more synonymous than I thought, and I think that I might be buying more silver tabs now moving forward.
I'm glad you're on board with the Silver Surfer, and they look good with the loafers. Normally, like a dainty little fucking slipski.
Yeah,
I'd be a little hesitant to pair it with the big pantalones, but I think this combo works.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. That's a cosign, ladies and gentlemen. I am wearing a Hanes Pleaser. On top of that, I am wearing a Turnbull and Asser shirt, which made me think about a topic that I wanted to get your opinion on.
Yes, those shirts you posted on your Facebook do look like fucking shit.
Oh, you don't like those? I love those. Are silk, dude.
They look like a popcorn seller core.
Sure. I like a striped shirt.
Popcorn.
Also, I feel like you owned more patterned shirts than me, which are like clownish in their
That's
own
a
right.
stripe. That's a stripe too far.
I was just thinking about like when we're going to be in Italy and then we're taking our, European vacations after the fact. I'm like, I would have loved to have these silks on deck when that happens. That's what I was thinking about. Anyway, the shout out Turnbull and Asser, very expensive. I believe like this basic ass shirt is probably, they sent it to me. Shout out Dan, who no longer works there. These are like $700 shirts, but.
Wow, very stealth with your stealth wealth here.
So like, whatever was stealth wealth that is now like quiet luxury.
It's the other way around.
What was first? What was the first hyper trend in the hyper trend cycle?
Quiet luxury, and Robbie, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that quiet luxury was more kind of like the marketing play by stores and brands to be like, yo, like this is like the trend. It sounds better, right? It's not like pejorative. It's like quiet luxury sounds like
and wealth is a bad
pulling
term
like a classy move.
Yeah.
Stealth wealth, I think, is more like the born from TikTok, where it's like people trying to dress like wasps.
Yeah.
But fucking, and like, this definitely comes from like the recent prep moment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that's trying to dress like a wasp by like even putting on any sort of costume will inevitably fail because a true wasp is wearing like fucking shitty clothing.
Yeah, and
they're driving like a beat up Subaru. You know what I mean?
And also that like waspy preppy stuff to me has always been like kind of loud.
Yeah. Well,
So
not wasps. Prep, yes. Wasps, no.
Okay. That's like the beat up fucking Oxford with the fucking elbows blown out. I had
it's
it
like
forever.
Exactly. It's like
my dad's barber.
I was watching men mow my lawn while I was wearing this denim shirt, et cetera, et cetera.
Either way, we're in the land of conspicuous consumption, and I brought this shirt, and it's perfect for the weather, and I love it. And I was just thinking about, like, I'm not a fan of either of these things, whether it's stealth wealth, the pejorative stealth wealth, or like the marketing term that is quiet luxury. And I get that Succession is back, and it's all anyone wants to talk about. So you're seeing a million fucking listicles about what Laura pee on a fucking cap, and they just dropped that terrible fucking merch capsule, which
HBO,
is embarrassing.
HBO, you need to step your merch game up.
It's so bad. But I say all this to say the one element of quiet luxury that, like, I'm realizing that I fucking love, whether it's a fucking $800 shirt that looks like it could be purchased at Muji.
Yeah, I was like, yo, nice PFG. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, or
Turnbull and asshead.
or a fucking black Brioni shirt that was made for a sex predator. When it comes to stealth wealth, quiet luxury, whatever, if it's a button up, I'm fully on board.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna add some Charves next. Go to Chickies, blow a bag.
You and I
I
both.
think that's gonna be the summer uniform.
We independently had the same thought where we having a little European vacay separately.
Yeah.
Well, it starts together and then we branch off
by design.
by design. It's good that we build in like separate time when we travel. I think that's smart of like any like boys trip or whatever, any group trip. But we both independently had the same thought where it's like, yo, we should hit Chickies and go to the Charvet rack. And it's just like, that's the shirt you throw on at the fucking beach. You roll up the sleeves at night, you roll them down, but and you button it up a little bit more. Maybe you have a fucking little loose gauge knit thrown on top. So Kathleen, if you're listening to this, which I know you are, please. But get the racks out.
I think, like, if you have the financial means, this idea of like, I'm taking a big trip, I've already kind of sunk a lot of money into the flights and the accommodation, and you're gonna need some fucking spending money to eat and drink and shop. It's also like, let me like get a new rotation for the trip. Like, it feels
it's a great
special
excuse.
and fun.
It's a great excuse to fucking blow bags, which is what I did.
You did that this trip,
which
too.
we'll get into.
You said that. What did you say? Money doesn't exist when you're traveling.
It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real, right? Because you're like, oh, the hotel's already paid for. I'm not paying for this. Oh, like, oh yeah, it's not real.
It's it just all gets wrapped up into the sunk cost.
Well, you're just in this like
booked.
you're in this weird purgatory of like, you're not at home, you're not on your regular routine, so like everything else is just kind of like not regular.
No,
including your spending habits.
Ain't nothing Reggie on this side. But
also, there isn't much great. L.A. better retail and better sushi and better Mexican than New York.
Better retail, yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of good. So I mean, that's the problem with New York right now. It's like, where the fuck do you shop? We've talked. New York's
got its guys. We're making strides.
Yeah, and one
Cueva,
of those,
Colbo, et cetera, Blue and Green, et cetera, et cetera.
And one of those, shout out for Kev, who opened up the Fantasy brick and mortar. Check that out. Open now. Chickies, like you mentioned. But anyway, yeah, there's nothing more quiet and luxurious than like, I'm waking up and I'm going to the beach.
That a free shirt?
No,
someone sent you. Oh
no, but I'm still throwing on the Charvet and I'm like fucking it up. That's the waspy way. It's gonna look better. Anyway, moving on up. I don't really wear trucker hats. Really, they're typically like, a rope rodeo. But I'm like, we're in LA.
It's not very stealth wealth of you.
I might as well lean into the statistics. So I got the Sahara 777 trucker hat on, rollie on the wrist, wifey on the pinky, wedding ring on the fingy. I think I reversed those, whatever. I'm wearing Hill City boxer briefs, and I'm also drinking LA tap water fucking swill from the reservoir.
All right, let's get into the fucking Throwing Fits weekend. We were recording on a Friday, which is unusual, but we had to accommodate Chef's schedule because he's doing his own travel. He's actually coming here after a bachelor party for a week of work, so we are recording on a Friday.
But he's going to Scottsdale.
He's there now for a bachelor party, and then he's coming here for work.
Got it.
Yes. So we're accommodating Chef's schedule. We're recording on a Friday.
Our own little fiasco.
This has been a long It's been 3.5 days.
I hate to be negative, Larry, or whatever. This trip has. Do you think would you say a disaster?
No, it's been less than ideal
for sure.
It's been less than ideal.
Yeah, we'll explain why.
But let's start with the flight out. So you had an immediate auspicious kind of beginning to the flight where you just saw a very advanced maneuver.
Oh, I've never seen this before. This is some next level shit. I'm going through security, and two people in front of me is a dude who had on his pocket tee backwards. So he just had to, and obviously, like, I'm sure he fucked that up, but he just had to fucking, like, a stash pocket on the back. Honestly, I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, what is that, like, general research archive?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing,
Damn,
dude?
these guys were some Japanese shit. No.
Yeah, but it's like, when you have...
It wasn't even an early flight. We were like,
No.
It was like a noon flight.
No, he was a disaster, but it was also one of those things where I couldn't believe he didn't realize it because, like, I don't know about you, if you put on a T-shirt backwards, typically you're like then like super
You're choked
by
up,
the
yeah.
neck
Yeah.
because of just how the T lays ergonomically. But no, this guy was on another fucking planet,
Yeah,
bro.
maybe he was fucking. Maybe he popped half his Xan.
But while I
He was
was
out like a light.
Yeah, while I was laughing in the moment because it was truly hilarious to me as a Jones enthusiast. That wasn't, like you said, that's an auspicious start. That's a curse vibe, and I don't know if there was any.
So it's inauspicious. I was saying that. I think that it's cool that guy was fucking doing that.
You think it's cool?
That's that wasp shit. That's that real stealth wealth.
The quiet
Where
luxury, having your pocket inaccessible.
Fucking up your clothes. That's real stealth wealth.
I'm not even using this pocket. I don't even need it. It's
I
on
don't-
the back.
Yeah, I don't carry cash.
Yeah.
My pockets.
Yeah,
I got,
but
I got
anyway.
a guy that does that for me.
Shout out to that guy, whoever
real
you are.
quick on the flight.
Wherever you are.
No crying babies. Shout out that guy that yelled at the baby for that motherfucker. Pay extra cry to yell.
What do you? I mean, what do you think about that? Do you even like? To me, I'm like, what
Bro,
is-
give that guy a medal.
the rant.
Make him president of the fucking FAA.
That was a really good tight five. I respect that rant, but I just whenever I
It
think
was loquacious.
it was quite loquacious, more loquacious than our friend Diplo. But I feel like when I think of whenever I see anything or I'm on a plane and there is a crying baby or something like this goes viral, I just think of like the Louis C.K. bit where he's like, "How do you think the fucking parents feel?"
Fuck him.
I mean, yeah, sure, like kids are mids and it's your own fault, but like, can you imagine what this particular baby's parents were going through in terms of their own fucking emotional trauma? What a fucking bummer that they got to fucking live with that motherfucker.
Of course. Well, also the kid was like mad autistic or something, right? Because he was like a toddler.
really?
I think. I don't know. Oh no, I'm thinking of some different flight.
What that we were on?
No, that my girlfriend's on, where there's like an autistic teenager just like running up and down the aisles, just kind of yelling and crying.
Did they? You could usually tell because they're wearing mufflers because it's loud on the plane.
I don't know.
Okay.
But whatever. This guy, give this guy a medal. Yeah, there should be an airline that is only children. Like you have to take
sure,
separate
totally.
flights from your kids.
Yeah.
And it's just like kids in the air kids.
Well, it's like resorts that don't allow kids. It's like, thank you. Or like, the standard in Miami, no kids allowed at this pool. Thank you for your service.
There wasn't any crying babies on our flight, but the guy behind me was playing some like Candy Crush ass game with the sound on.
Bro,
And I was
what?
like-
No
Look-
headphones?
No headphones. No headphones.
So you're just hearing like bubble popping sound effects and shit?
No, like
So,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope
I've never played Candy Crush. I don't know. Which was I only heard because I watched the Fabelmans, which is a dog shit movie.
Bro.
Horrible.
I thought I wouldn't like it, but I believe I talked about this at one of the wrap-up pods at the end of the year. I ended up really enjoying it, and it's not even as a Jew.
It makes being Jewish look fun and wholesome and cool. Right?
The biggest takeaway is if it makes being Jewish like you want to fuck your mom.
Yeah, I mean those things
Like,
are the same.
hard
Right? You want to fuck booby.
and long.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to fuck your mom?
No, but that movie. I mean, Spielberg clearly does. Did you get through to the end?
No. Fuck no. I turned it off. Like
Because the ending is amazing.
okay.
David
cool.
Lynch. The director John Hughes, very famous, had an eye patch for a long time. David Lynch.
Like the 16 Candles, John Hughes.
Wait, did I say John Hughes?
Yeah.
So then not John Hughes. What's the fucking guy's name?
Who cares? Fabelman.
John
fucking
Hawkes.
Bullshit. Okay.
Like famous Western director. I probably even said that name wrong. But anyway, Spielberg has an amazing moment that he relays from his own childhood where he meets his hero for the first time, and he's talking about how to frame shots with the horizon, and it's actually kind of like a sick ending. But
All right. Well, some of us appreciate actually good cinema, and not just to fucking jerk off to the circle jerk that is the Fabelmans. Be like, oh, the magic of movies. Dog shit. And then I think I watched. I don't even know. I think I snoozed, and that's it. What about you? What did you watch?
I watched American Graffiti, George Lucas's first film, which is better than any of the fucking Star Wars.
Whoa, sick take. Sick take, dude.
I don't know, people love Star Wars and rate it very highly. I'm not a huge fan.
Okay.
It's basically it came before Dazed and Confused, but it's like it's like last night of summer. Obviously, Dazed and Confused is the last day of school, but it's all happens in one night. It's a bunch of horny fucking young adults, and it's just not. There's less drugs and less fucking than Dazed and Confused, so it's not as good, but it was not bad. And then I watched Interstellar.
All of it? It's like 3.5 hours long. Was the flight that long?
I'm gonna finish it on the way home. He just popped down into the Tesseract.
No.
Hitting the fucking books. Yo, what a
No,
movie.
don't start a podcast with Lawrence.
Yo,
No,
for real.
don't book Tyga in LA. No.
Yeah, right? Or also don't start a podcast with Lawrence. Don't start a podcast. Get a real job, bro.
Well, no, because we love our shit. Don't go to LA. No.
I love that movie. Are you
Yeah.
a Interstellar guy?
No, I like it, yeah.
We can agree on that?
Yes.
It's
I've only
so melodramatic.
I've only
dude.
seen it on a plane.
Really?
As Christopher Nolan intended.
Yeah.
I only watched Nolan, except for Dark Knight, I've only watched Nolan flicks on flights. Dunkirk, first seen on a flight.
Terrible.
I was like,
decision.
Airplane movie. Let me watch it on
This
the airplane.
man is the only guy who like films like natively or whatever, like in IMAX, and you're watching it on like a fucking 5x5.
Yeah, and I'm
screen
like trying to listen, like, wait.
with trash sound.
I can't hear anything on these fucking airplane headphones.
Well, you're not
All right.
missing anything in terms of dialogue in a Nolan movie,
Exactly.
but like the sound design is amazing.
Flight out here, uneventful. We get here, we pick up the big body Escalade. Shout out Shauna, shout out GMC. I fucking, at this point, I like know this car kind of front to back, even though we did have a bit of a funny hiccup.
Yeah, we really did.
Because this is like a new model, I guess. We're driving like the 2025 big body Esco.
But we only are in the newest shit because like they're not gonna put two influencers in some fucking old hoopty.
I know. All right, this is where the trip kind of goes a little left.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I really like being in control of like my own time and being able to
Yeah, as an adult.
being able to set my own schedule. And like, look, if we're gonna be out in LA, sorry, are you texting somebody?
No, I want to find out the movie director with the John
Please.
Ford. God damn it, I'm sorry, dude. John Ford. I should have known that.
First of all, you call yourself a fucking cinephile.
I
You don't
know.
even John
That's why I
Ford.
had to- that's
Secondly, you don't even respect continuity. You have to fucking time jump back to 10 minutes ago to fix your mistake from 10 minutes ago. I get it.
I don't want to give anyone a fucking inch to bully me in the fucking comments of the Patreon post.
Stop reading the comments.
Never.
The trip takes okay. Where was I? Sorry that before you interrupted me. Oh, so like
Control of your
not
own time.
exactly, which I'm not in right now. Because you had to get that John Ford comment in. Yeah, so it's like we come out here to pot. This is a work trip, right?
100%.
That being said, there are pockets and big pockets of time where it's like, you know, we could be doing interesting things. We could be doing fun things. We could be going to restaurants. We could be going to stores, et cetera, et cetera. We could be like building out a week
R&D.
around like the obligations.
Yep.
When the obligations aren't like set,
Moving
aren't
targets.
set and are fluid and are moving targets, it fucking sucks that you and I, as kind of like the recipients or like on the, like the receiving end of that, on like the sub end of that, we can't like we have to like stay close to the gear. We have to stay close to the fucking whip.
Yep.
We can't just fuck about and like go be like, oh, like let's go to let's go drive an hour that way to the other side of the city and like
Gotta
check
account
out
for
that
traffic,
thing.
parking.
We can't make any commitments. This is a crazy week in LA where like everybody's here for the Fear of God shit and Coachella and et cetera, et cetera. Everyone's like hitting us up. We're like, yo, we just can't commit. We can't like make any. We just don't really know what we're doing.
As a people pleaser, it's been an absolute fucking nightmare. Also because all of, like the people that we might even see in New York, they're here and they all want to hang out. It's like I could just see you in New York if I'm going to see you at all. But
It is fun. I like seeing people in New York, in LA, because then you just like shit on LA and you're just like
true.
And it also is kind of like getting people out of their element a little bit. You're just like seeing Gian in shorts, like that's weird.
Yeah. Or it is funny too to like see a homie like switch up and like act a little like LA, like and cornier because they're by osmosis.
Yeah, let's fucking Airline, dude.
Yeah, let's go buy some weed, bro.
Let's get a fucking smelly, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's
All
pretty
right,
funny.
so the plan was, this was our week, and this is behind the paywall, and I guess we're gonna give away a few guests, upcoming guests. The
Spoiler
plan
alert.
was touchdown, 3:00, pick up our shit, go to the telly, grab a quick bite, probably podcast with my good homie of 10 years, Sponto, the
Awesome
co-founder,
guy.
born and raised, who you met for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think you guys like connected because like
just been internet friends. Obviously, like there was all this stuff that we talk about around Fashion Bros, but I had never actually met him in person. I mean, he's been sick.
yeah,
you know?
and just like a really impressive like story, personal,
Wow.
get what he's gone through, what he's like overcome, et cetera, et cetera. Not even just like the cancer is probably the craziest.
His
but also
life
just, like,
story is insane.
where he comes from, how the brand was started, took off, et cetera, et cetera. He had to push to Wednesday. We're like, all right, cool. Oh wait, fuck, I fucked this up.
You already
The
missed the
original timeline was okay. So it was pod with Sponso Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Wake up early Wednesday. Drive to Palm Springs.
Stay at Margaritaville.
Well, we're probably just gonna go straight to the podcast.
Yeah.
With Tyga.
Yep. That's the one.
Who I alluded to having potentially a bigger body count than Diplo in
Yes.
terms of either quality or quantity. I'm not sure.
The Palm Springs kind of like secret A-lister pod, the reason this whole trip was fucking planned was that we were going to interview Tyga. T-Raw.
He was the anchor, right?
Yep.
And then we kind of built the other pods around him. So stay at the Margaritaville. Have a fucking light one up with Jimmy and our fellow parrot heads.
God damn it.
Wednesday night, wake up, come back to LA, change hotels, come to the current hotel we're at, check in
Historic
Thursday.
Biltmore Hotel.
Check-in Thursday, pod with another very successul musical artist whose name I don't think we – do we want to?
I thought we were just going to say because it's the
Yeah,
next
go
2
ahead.
weeks are Sponto and then 24K Golden.
Well, you always in a mood.
And we could talk about that whole experience, but damn, what a fucking he's literally a child. He's
Yeah.
22 years old.
But also, like,
very impressive.
Exactly. Okay, and then like Friday was kind of open where we then learned that we had to do the boys only on Friday. So we wanted to do a Friday fiasco with like Mikey the Hitman or any other homie in LA, but we had to commit our pod time today to
This is the
this.
fiasco.
And then after this, we are getting tattoos. So I get an email on the plane ride, and the Wi-Fi was in and out, and I couldn't respond to it. I couldn't even open the email, but I get an email on the plane over where it's like, yo, Tyga is no longer going to be in Palm Springs. He's coming back to L.A. Because he had a very exhausting Coachella and just wants to like kick it at home.
Which was what? Did he? I think he came out during someone else's set for one song.
He did Rack City. He did. I think he
For
probably,
Metro?
He probably did
Or-
some parties.
Metro.
I mean, you're just like it's exhausting being there. I can't.
No,
believe the guy.
I'm sure. Well,
But also, I think you want to go to the Fear of God show.
100%. But was also like you're telling me that Tyga's Coachella, that fucking A-list VIP level Coachella, that's not exhausting. That's vacation.
I mean, you still gotta like dap everybody and be like, "Yo, what's up? How you been? Yeah, we'll totally do a song together. What's up, Blackpink? He's got to dap up
sure.
all 6 members of Blackpink.
Speaking of which, and I normally don't really pay attention to Coachella. Obviously, like we talked about Frank, and I like that aspect, but I don't really like want to see what's happening on social media at that festival with like celebs because I don't care. But like with the Tyga schedule shift and stuff, I was kind of popping around, and I didn't realize that celebrities. The best part of going, and kind of Golden alluded to this after off mic, but this idea of going, that's networking because everyone is there and everyone is taking pictures.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing fucking, hard grid post fucking collabs and stuff. And I'm like, this is like, college orientation for celebrities.
It's the Masters for celebrities.
Yeah, basically. I never had thought about that. Where
Yeah.
it's like, getting flicks off with like other famous
See,
people
this is why
to
Tyga
get clout.
This is why you don't have the big cerebral brain of Tyga, T-Raw.
Oh yeah, no, I don't, not at all.
So
the big cerebral meat of Tyga.
So we get on the fucking horn with Margaritaville, Lawrence does, as we're driving to the Hotel 1, switches hotels. We extend Hotel 1 for a night.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, cool. Like, Tyga's, you're going to go to his crib. We're like, oh, sick. Like,
Yeah.
this is awesome. It adds context. It adds, like, content.
The video's gonna look fucking tight.
It's going to be at 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Same time you're supposed to do in Palm Springs. We're like, all right, cool.
Great.
Sponto on Tuesday night pushes to Wednesday afternoon. We're like, fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, can you do noon? We're like, noon,
Back to
a noon
back.
pod, and then a 3 o'clock Tyga pod. Like, that is tight.
Yeah. That's
We're gonna go 2 hours of Sponto, which we
Easily.
did.
Yeah.
Then like fucking packing up, hoofing it up the hills, switchbacks in the fucking big body. Very stressful driving. Those
Yeah,
hills.
stressful driving. Then that's just like a lot of. Speaking of fucking big brain cerebral shit, that's just like a lot of energy, the above
Expenditure.
the ears fucking mustard shit
Yeah.
that like it's hard. I mean, I don't know if people think this is an easy job or a hard job or they respect us or whatever, but like that's not the ideal scenario how we ever want to approach our work.
I think the ideal scenario is 1 pod a day.
Yeah,
just
if that.
like expending energy and like being on like
Yeah.
for like 1 to 2 hours a day.
Yeah,
at
I'll,
most.
I'll pod every other day if I had my druthers.
I'll pod every day. It's just like it can't
Yeah.
be 2 in a day. 2 in a day is rough. So luckily, we thought at the time, Tyga got pushed to 5 p.m. So like, oh, bet.
Sure.
Sponso, fucking take your time. We'll go to the fucking hotel. We'll get some food. Get a little nappy nap. Then fucking head up there.
to the
That's
bird
what we-
streets.
To the bird streets. Wave down at Benny Blanco.
Yeah.
Because Benny Blanco didn't do Rack City.
No, he did not.
or Faded.
or taste.
Or Taste. He's done
Every
other
song that just the title is the hook.
He's done other
repeated
songs.
over and over.
He's done other songs to that formula.
Yeah.
Um,
Taste.
so we get to
You can
Tyga's
get a
crib,
taste.
and okay, This is where you and I kind of like have like differing
Yeah.
hindsights of what was.
Uh-huh.
Not crazy far apart, but just it's subtle differentiations. We get there 4:45, right? If we're starting at 5, we need 50 minutes to set up the fucking camera for our best friends behind the paywall. We want to make sure that like the background looks good, that we're all plugged in. We got the Wi-Fi.
We want to make it turnkey for the guests, so that when Tyga walks down from his room into living room number 3, we're ready to go. The captain's chair is fucking locked and loaded. Let's fucking blast off.
So we're set up in living room number 3. He's like, "Yo, I think Tyga wants to do living room number 1."
Oh, yeah,
right?
the whole time
set up again.
Yeah, the whole time his assistant Trey, who was awesome and like the
Yes.
most accommodating dude. Though it is funny, like seeing an assistant of a dude at Tyga's level like function in real time is hilarious. You made the joke that it's just Siri in real life.
Yeah, he's just like he's the reminder app.
But yeah, to me it was more of just like he's just a human alarm where it's like you would hit a snooze, like Trey is like, "Yo, Tyga, they're ready for you. Yo, get me in 10 minutes."
Yeah.
Snooze. Like
Yeah.
but he was a great guy, but it was like, where does Tyga want the video to be filmed? And we moved around quite a bit.
And the curse, the paradox was because he's so high up in the hills, because he's fucking facing the Pacific, you see the entirety of LA before you. You see the fucking ocean. You see the, where the helicopter in Step Brothers is. What's that island?
The Catalina
you see Catalina Island, fucking misty in the Pacific. The sun is blasting us, so we can't get the views because it's too backlit. That's a cinematic term John Ford taught me.
Yes.
Callback. That's how you do it.
Worth it.
So we finally get to a place, and honestly, this was like 30 minutes of like setting up and like
more
breaking up.
I think it was
breaking
more.
down, setting up, breaking down, setting up, breaking down, setting up.
Yeah.
Finally, we like get something that's like doable.
Try not to knock over call statues and bear bricks
Yeah.
as we maneuver around this fucking mansion.
Trey's eating fucking Prince Street pizza and watching the Lakers. And like, "Yo, Trey, how's this look?" He's like, "It's good. Let me send a photo to the Tyga." He's like, yo, can we get like more green?" We're like, no.
Yeah, dude,
Anyway, all right. What time is it at this point? It's like 5:45. We were promised 1 hour with Tyga.
Yes,
and that to be clear, that 1 hour is still like on the table. Right when we are able to make it happen again, whether it's in LA or New York.
Mm-hmm.
What we're realizing is that Tyga, like us,
and everybody
in LA, was gonna go to the Fear of God show, which was we learned that he had to be there at 7 or 7:30.
What I understood was that doors open at 6:30. No one thought it was going to start at 6:30 or even 7, and we could talk about how late it did start. But doors at 6:30, and then his call time was 7. So we're kind of
7 or 7:30, and then you kept being 7. I was like, "Yo, Lawrence, shut up!"
It was
7:30.
I was putting my foot in my mouth. But either way, the whole thing was
it's a half-hour drive there, so
Right.
he was out the door at 6:30 or 7 to get there at 7 or 7:30.
And the whole time, Trey is reassuring us that like, well, he's getting ready now, so that when you are done potting, we're like all going to basically leave together.
Yeah.
He's going to walk out the door. So at this point, we still believe that this is going to happen as planned, if not, a little delayed.
At 6 o'clock, Trey's like, "All right, yo, he just got out of his room," and we're like, "All right, cool." At 6:15, still no sign of Tyga. We're like, how fucking big is upstairs? Like, where the fuck is Tyga's room?
Yeah, exactly. Where does this house start and where does it fucking end, dude?
Did he get confused by all the bear bricks? I mean, they all look the same. Yeah. You got to use like the MJ bear brick as a landmark.
Yeah, for real, dude. He has so many bear bricks. Oh my god.
He sits down at like 6:30, a little after 6:30, and he's like, and this is crazy. He's like,
"Yeah,
yo, what's up? Oh, Tyga, what's up? Nice to meet you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sits down. He's like, "Okay, cool." And I'm like, "So we were told that we could do this for an hour, but we understand that you gotta like." He's like, "Yeah, I gotta bounce in like 15 minutes." And we're like, we don't think we can do this in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I've seen your shit. You guys just do like really quick editing, right? So like." You just do like the really quick Reels editing. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm sure we can get it.
And to be clear, the whole reason this pod came together is that Steven Victor reposted a bunch of TF stuff. Tyga and Steven are obviously very good friends. That's like the cosign and why one of the reasons we would pod with someone like Steven. Tyga follows Throwing Fits. You cold DM him. We get in touch with the publicist. But again, Tyga as a follower is maybe not aware that we are a podcast or what a podcast is potentially, and thought it was just Reels and TikToks.
Well, he thinks that he's one of the fucking Bay Area, definitely the building. Oh, yeah, tell me what the shoes are. Tell me what the shoes are.
Tell me how much the bear brick cost. How much the bear brick cost?
Okay,
Chris Smooth.
Not to get that black scenty with it.
Well, oh, excuse you, dude.
I'm a POC.
Anyway,
so we got to see Tyga learn what a podcast is in real time.
Yeah, and we probably
he was like an hour. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then he's like, well, I don't think an hour is gonna happen regardless. Like maybe 45, whatever. See how I didn't imitate actually what Tyga sounds like, though. Kind of a soft-spoken, shy boy.
Shyga,
yeah. So that in that moment, we're like, okay, we have to figure out a plan B because this man is truly about to walk out the door. And even if, like, if I don't know about you, but if it was like, yo, you can get 15 minutes with Tyga or you get no time with Tyga, I will take no time. What are we going to do? You and I are not going to do anything in 15 minutes.
I mean, my intro was going to be like 4 minutes, you know? Like,
yeah.
So I was just going to rap Rack City.
True. I did. I mean, I really wanted to see. I was always concerned about how he would be as a guest, knowing that he is a kind of, like, obviously huge personality, on his songs. And, he's been in the spotlight for a long time for dating a variety of very famous women and piping down less famous ones behind the paywall. Yeah, I wanted to see how that intro was going to break him down, and then we would then do what would hopefully amount to an amazing podcast. Unfortunately, that did not happen. So we made an alternate plan.
Which was let's pod with you. Let's get 45 minutes an hour, like midday tomorrow, because then he had a 4:20 show, and then he had to go back to India for Coachella weekend.
His 4:20 show in Marina Del Rey, the whole thing was he goes on stage at 4:20.
Yeah. So that's
very literal.
So that's how he left it, where it's like, fuck. Of course, Tyga being on Rapper Time, being the A-lister, not even like considering this like an important thing, not even understanding exactly what was expected or what the obligation was, hopefully.
And I think this is where we differ, and I will couch all of this by saying that you have dealt with way more rappers in your career than I have. Most of my shit was just personal shopping or styling where like those guys want to be there because it's basically shopping, and it's basically free shopping on top of that. After all this whole conversation, again, we literally maybe spent 8 minutes with him in the same room. Less. When it's kind of like clear that it's not happening and we're gonna like figure it out with Trey, human Siri, Tyga just left. Well, you made a joke which was, "Oh, we'll see you at the Fear of God show. Can we convoy and get your police escort?" And he goes, and then he's
like, nah.
And he just walked out of the room with
I made two jokes. You like my first joke?
What was the first joke?
I was like, all right, this gives me another, extra 24 hours to practice my mean.
Oh, and we were like, yo, my boy from back at Def Jam, AE.
What? I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I worked.
Whatever. I'm not trying to shit on you.
I said I'll practice my mean. I was like, yeah, I worked with AE, your best friend,
his bestie.
I worked with him for 2 years,
and
barely.
AE has come up a bunch on the pod because he is a living legend, one of the all-time.
Cher's boyfriend.
Yeah, Cher's current boyfriend, Amber Rose baby daddy, just an all-time stick man who eventually I would love, and I know you agree, to have on the show.
I was texting with him about having him on, and then I think the Cher thing happened, and he kind of had to like drop off the face of the earth a little bit, pull back.
Either way, then this mutually gets brought up, and then Tyga's like, yeah, like he's gonna be here tomorrow when I'm getting retwisted for Coachella and I'm getting like lined up, and we're like, oh shit, like that'll be cool that he'll be here and like whatever. But regardless, he like, you did your second joke, he gives you the chuckle, the nod, and then truly completely just like we didn't exist anymore, and he didn't say bye and just walked out of the room. And while I would not expect Tyga to remember my name, necessarily treat me like his best friend, like I'm AE, but like some base level of respect and decorum I thought would exist. Where you say, nice to meet you, goodbye, or yo, peace, see you tomorrow. The bare minimum.
We are mud, we are insects, we are fucking single cellular organisms to these gods, right? These people that are the cultural, like these are the people that make the music and the fucking aesthetic. And I'm not talking about Tyga necessarily. I'm talking about, like fucking like actual
Tyga is an
rap
AVN
stars,
winner.
Rap stars, rock stars, 5 billion streams. We both took the photos.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at it because it's like these guys, like think about what he has to go through every single fucking day.
No, I understand.
Imagine having to come on throwing fits like 3 times a day. No, I'm not saying that
Yeah.
Tyga's that in demand.
And
like,
he's
from
not
a media
even.
perspective.
One of the reasons I was so psyched that we got him is it's like he's not on a press run. We're not going to necessarily see him pop up on a bunch of other pods clustered around ours. So like I don't know if he's necessarily in that mode right now. I get that that's what happens when you do a project. And we talked to Golden about this a lot and how draining those junkets are and how they're just not fun. And,
they're soulless.
And why we are necessary.
I don't think you could take it
because our show is fun.
I don't think you could take it personally. I think that when he was sitting in the chair, we were a little worried. Like, damn, is he like shyga? Is he like quiet?
Yeah.
But I'm confident that as a you don't get to his status if you don't like know how to turn it on when the fucking red light hits go. And John Forward says, "Action! Get the slate. Get the slate.
Yeah. I will say I don't.
Rolling.
I hope this doesn't come off as like my pride or something. To me, it's truly like it's just basic human decency.
You are mud. Just accept that you are fucking mud.
And
that you are one of 100,000 white faces that he has had to like sit down in front of, and like if he put his mental capacity into like treating every single one of us fucking mud people like people on his level or the humans that we think we are
mud people.
We are like he would not have the bandwidth to like fucking make another strip club anthem. And we'd rather I don't know about you, I'd rather Tyga put all his mental bandwidth towards creating more strip club anthems. 10 10 10 20s on your titties, bitch. You think if he tried to remember your name, he'd have the fucking mental ability to come up with that bar?
But if you were like
infinitely that legacy?
No, but at the same time, if you're like Tyga, if Tyga does throwing fits, he'll never release another song again. I'll take that deal all day.
Though, for sure.
The biggest bummer, and we can maybe talk about trying to reschedule it, but real quick, one thing that I was so excited to ask him. In a line that you kept repeating, and we were listening to a lot of Tyga cruising around LA to kind of like get in the mindset. But the great line, which is "Young Nino, fuck a bitch in a peacoat," and I would throw this to you because Tyga's not here to answer. Is Tyga fucking while wearing a peacoat?
Yes.
A, is he fucking a bitch who's wearing a peacoat? B, or C? When he says "fucker in the peacoat," is
fucker
peacoat,
in a peacoat.
In a peacoat, is the peacoat then like a euphemism for some
like
orifice that we don't even know exists?
The pee hole? Yo, is peacoat? Does that mean condom?
Dude, this is what I wanted to know.
A penis coat?
Yeah, peacoat. Peacoat.
I always thought that
pushing peacoat.
I always thought that he's in the peacoat. It's like you know when you're piping a bitch down, you're in a big ass fur,
right?
Like which I've never done, sadly.
New Jack City, Nino Brown, Young Nino,
fuck a bitch in a peacoat.
But then it's like a peacoat, bro. What are you, Robert Redford in the fucking?
It kind of rhymes with Nino, right? Young Nino, fuck a bitch in a mink fur. Like that doesn't fit. That doesn't work.
Yeah, true. I guess that's why I'm not a rapper, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. And
I approved last week.
Yeah, God. I thought the funniest one. Okay, well, two quick observations about our hour and a half spent fucking seeing all of Tyga's living rooms. One, we pull up. I'm fucking car sick, and I'm driving from this fucking switchbacks. We go through private security. We pull up on like this insane fucking vista before us. I park. I try not to like run over his plants, and you're like, "Yo, I gotta piss." And there's a construction site across the street, and you're like, "Yo, I'm gonna just use the porta potty." And I was fucking dying laughing, and of course. And I was like, yo, why don't you just use the bathroom when we go in there? You're like, I don't want to piss in Tyga's bathroom.
Well, I want to see Tyga's bathroom, but I didn't know. Knowing what I know now, hindsight being 20/20, if I knew we were just going to be hanging with Trey and he was going to be such a great accommodating guy, and I don't need to literally be like, hey, Tyga, nice to meet you. Can I pee in your bathroom, please? You know?
But the timing was incredible.
Oh, dude, so
Trey
bad.
comes out. I'm like, what's good? Hey, Trey, nice to meet you. And then you come out. He's like, yo, it's just you. I'm like, no, my partner's in the porta potty across the street. And then you come out, and I'm like, you don't have to shake his hand.
Yeah, and he gave me the elbow. But it's funny you say that because I'm like, okay, I got to pee as fast as possible because I got to hit the window. This guy can't even hear the porta potty door closing. So as I'm peeing there, and I just hear, yo, what up? Yo, what up, Trey? Yo, what up, Trey? And I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. I'm not going to. And then I did.
And you walk out, I'm like, that's Larry. You don't have to shake his hand.
And I'll admit that I told a very great lie on the fly. After you threw me under the bus about, you don't have to shake his hand, though. Honestly, I do kind of appreciate, great joke, and I appreciate that. I did just kind of reflexively lie and just be like, thank God for hand sanitizer. There was no hand sanitizer in that porta potty.
When I went,
there was none in my bag.
After we left, I went into the porta potty to piss because I was like, all right, now we're going to drive an hour and a half to the Fear of God show. I was looking for the hand sanitizer. There was none.
None, dude.
All good.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was our... Oh, last thing also, Tyga's crib, surprisingly tasteful. And I don't know exactly how to, say this, but it was, good furniture. A lot of kid stuff for, for his son, King, and I think he has maybe another child whose name I don't know because it's on Wikipedia. For a rapper's crib, and I've been to a few, and, they're normally just, of all ages, guys older than us, guys younger than us.
Yeah. Is Tyga older than us?
He's a few years younger than us.
Yeah, right. There's no way he's over.
Born in 89, so he's 33, 34.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah, surprisingly tasteful, nice. I think there were these cliche art books and
all the streetwear
toys.
A lot of streetwear rugs. He loves a streetwear rug.
He had a T-Raw rug, he had a Victor rug, but the furniture was fucking nice. And And the real shit, not fucking reps. It was heavy. It was hard to move. It was plush. It was
we were moving everything around.
Nice mixed materials. So the outdoor furniture was very, very nice. Because we did try to set up there at first and it didn't work.
Yeah. Not a lot of outlets.
That's all I'm gonna say. Not a lot of outlets.
Which is weird.
No, because all the shit's built into the walls.
Yeah, true.
All the shit's hidden.
It's strategic. Yeah, we've moved more furniture this week, at least than I have in my entire life. Normally, I hire people to do that, and then I buy their pants after the fact. But what struck me was not just the amazing view. This is why you want to be rich in LA. The backyard, from the fucking infinity pool to the fucking hot tub to the fire pit to then the outdoor kitchen, then the other outdoor seating area. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the move if you're rich and you're a rapper. This is catnip for the hoes.
Indoor outdoor living, baby.
Literally, don't bring a friend. Bring fucking 5 friends and tell those 5 friends to bring 5 friends because the pyramid.
It's a Ponzi scheme of pussy.
I was gonna say because okay. Great.
Ponzi pussy.
It's a Ponzi scheme of pussy, dude.
Damn, is that the episode title?
No.
Ponzi scheme of P*C.
I honestly think the title is Brick City and the outro is Rack City. Right. Anyway, shout out Tyga. We're gonna still try to.
I know.
And I hope people don't. This is not oh, we were spurned and we were wrong. We're gonna hate. No, it's just it's a shitty situation.
It's annoying.
And we're moving past it by airing our grievances. I think.
Oh, let's ultimately say that we were the alternate plan never happened, right? So the next day we allocated the entirety of the day morning, to Tyga, and at noon or 12:30, they're just Tyga's his hair's going long, and he's just got to go back. He's got to do the show and go back to India. Do you want to drive out to Coachella, pod with him on Friday? And we're like, no, I'm not going to drive 7 hours with weekend 2 traffic. Although, might have been late after Frank dropped out.
Yeah, that's true. And I hope you never...
I'm going to drive 7 hours, sit down, pod for hopefully an hour, maybe 30 minutes, and turn around and drive 2 hours back.
I hope you never think that I take your driving on trips like this for granted, on some chauffeur shit. And I might have made jokes at your expense or about that situation in the past. I really appreciate it, and I'm very thankful, but that I would never, ever expect you to drive there and then back in a day. That's insane. Yeah. No one should have to do that.
Yeah.
Unless they were going to Coachella to stay at Coachella, not to do 1 hour, maybe 45 with T-Raw.
Maybe 30. Okay. The fact that T-Raw did cancel Palm Springs on Wednesday and made an LA-based pod, allegedly, did mean that we were going to be in LA the night of the Fear of God show, which Jerry did invite us to via text personally, but we were like, yo,
we tried to book him when we came out here, but he was like, I'm too busy.
We're in Palm, and he was like, yeah, I'm too tired. I'll be sleeping Thursday, Friday. We're like, but after seeing the show, we're like, okay, yeah, we get it. Tuesday night though, or Wednesday, Tuesday.
What do you?
When we realized that we were going to be in LA on Tuesday, we're like, oh, let's try to go to the Fear of God show.
Yeah, so it's like, okay.
Text the guy.
Text Jerry when he's in the middle of literally fighting for his life in the Thunderdome for this big 10-year anniversary spectacle that the whole city is going out to. Then you get a press person's email. They don't know who the fuck we are. I'm trying to explain what Throwing Fits is. Then I'm like, all right, let me just hit my fucking boy Travis, who works at Fear of God. And ultimately, we got the invite 3,000 other people in this fucking godforsaken city. So we go, all right, let's fucking leave Tyga's crib and try to beat him to the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. We go there, and there's a glitch in the matrix in the whip.
Dude.
That was so weird.
I don't even know what we were fucking talking about, but there was on the driver's side, it wasn't really happening to me on the passenger, but your voice was being amplified throughout the car in 360-degree surround sound in like a weird auto-tuned, like filtered version.
Yeah.
It was
I'm in love with a stepper.
It was literally like, well, you said like, what is this fucking Jarvis?
I felt like Tony Stark in the fucking talking to Jarvis.
And I just did a quick little Google sitting shotgun to try to like troubleshoot this for you like I'm your fucking pit crew. And apparently the new Cadillacs. This is not sponsored, by the way. Obviously we're way behind the paywall, but they have what is it called? 360-degree conversation enhancement.
I don't think it's 360, just conversation enhancement mode.
Which is like, when would you ever need that? Is that because the big body is so big?
I think if you are talking to people
sitting in the asshole.
Well, if you're sitting in the back, it is hard to hear the driver if the driver's not like kind of like
right because they're speaking forward. Sure,
speaking forward. Also, like the third row is 20 feet away.
It's so far.
It's a metric knot away, like in the fucking back. Like when I blow a red light, like they're still in the fucking intersection.
And when you
but also,
put
I think
the windows
when
it goes off. So when you're trying to figure out like
when you're blasting music in the fucking big body, which like we haven't been honestly doing enough. I have such a good song. I don't know if we're gonna be driving anymore because you're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have such a good song to play in there. But this is where I wanna be. Corrupt Nate Dogg.
Yeah, classic.
But riding with my homeboys, smoking.
You just thought of that because we're in LA and you were just like pacing around.
I was trying to find it on the
room, thinking of
I was trying to find it on my phone while driving on the way back here, but I was like, damn, this is dangerous. Also, the Gucci Mane Diplo mixtape was already queued up, so I was like, let me just throw that
all
on.
the time. Yeah, so shout out the conversation. I mean, maybe
it
if you wanted to record a podcast PMT style in the van, it would be good. I don't know.
It was such a bizarre, like...
It was scary.
It was like, I felt like I sounded like Optimus Prime a little bit. Like, it was just fucking, I don't know. Damn.
Can I share a weird, like, dark, stupid, childish thought that I had?
Yeah, sure.
When I was going through the movies on the plane, I saw that Michael Clayton was available to stream. I had just watched it on HBO. I asked you if you'd ever seen it. I think you rate it lower than me. I fucking love that movie.
No, I just rewatched it. It's good, but it's like, yo, lawyers love this movie.
It is one of the all-time, if not the #1 lawyer movie. You got all these lawyers thinking you're a cop, and you got all these cops thinking you're a lawyer. Anyway, there's a scene in the movie where his GPS is fucking up, spoilers, in the fucking big body Benz, and it's because fucking North, the fucking, narcs in suits that are giving cancer to hardworking people, they put a fucking car bomb in the fucking,
like North Swell or something?
North is the company.
North, okay.
And I was like, I had a dark thought. I was like, who's trying to kill us, dude? Who's trying to blow up our Escalade? Who's trying to take us out?
Tyga.
Pair of kings. Yeah. Anyway, shout out Michael Clayton.
Yeah, decent flick. All right, so
great.
We're kind of flying a little blind, right? We're getting like all this like misinformation. Apparently, there was like issues with like emailing out the QR codes. It was like a ticketed situation, but like
it's a fucking shit show.
There was parking connected to it as well. It was taking place in the Hollywood Bowl. As everyone's seen by now, because it was the fucking clout chasing Olympics, which we'll get to. We're flying a little blind. The guy's like, yo, just here's a screenshot of my ticket.
You're on the list. You're on the list.
You're on the list. Here's a screenshot of my ticket. Just show them this for the both of you, but your seats are this. We're like, what? And like parking's like we're getting like different mixed messaging about parking. Like,
and also shout out Travis, who's probably trying to work the
and
most
ultimately,
stressful day of his life,
and ultimately
then
got
also
us
hook
in.
up the homies, and it ended up being fine.
And I mean, he pulled the just call me when you get here card, which
yeah.
like we did or didn't. I don't even remember.
But I think we ended up not, because we tried to park, then realized that like we didn't have the app and the prepaid QR code, so we just were like, all right, I guess we're gonna park 5 miles away.
The attendant was just like, nah,
no,
like,
it's not gonna happen.
You're like, no, I have a screenshot. He's like, I don't care. Like, do you have the Park Whiz app? Like, no, what the fuck? No.
He's like, yeah, you're one of 1,000 people that are not gonna be parking.
It's like, you know someone that works at Fear of God?
Yeah.
Unless you know fucking God, I'm gonna let you park here, bitch.
It is funny, like, just talking to a guy who's doing his fucking,
valet guy.
A valet guy doing his like paid by the hour thing and trying to be like, I know Travis Van Dyke at Fear of God. Yeah. It's like, who? What's Fear of God? What are you talking about?
Hold on. Let me back up a little bit. Jerry Lorenzo's Jerry Lorenzo's father was actually a baseball manager.
Yeah.
And so Jerry, he infuses the athleticism.
Shut the fuck up.
Get exit left. So we do exit left. I'm finna make the fucking most intense left-hand turn out that I've ever done in my entire life because, again, this is like the event in the city. It's like a Dodgers game. It's like basically trying to fucking park in like a Dodgers game with
playoff game.
Playoff game.
It was Jerry's playoff game.
I'm like I'm like half in, half out. Like I see cars coming towards me. A fucking little vintage G-Wagon pulls up. It is Avi Gold and Liam McRae. Liam in the driver's seat, Avi sitting shotgun.
Our fucking angels from fucking Canada.
Exactly. Liam's from Canada?
Yeah, I think that's why they're friends.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but they're Canadian angels, dude.
Our fucking stony shamans.
Yeah, dude. Stony and Shtushy.
Yeah,
Shamans.
Shamans. They're like, yo, follow us. We're like, to the promised land.
And shout out Avi, because and also shout out Liam, but like Avi is the guy that like he'll take any opportunity to
be the guy.
To be the guy, and not because it's like, and now you owe me one, but he wants to do it to do it. Not because I think it's like us.
Sure.
You know?
So we fucking we literally are weaving through like 3 lanes of traffic.
Yeah.
It's a little dicey, especially in this
Follow the silver bullet.
especially in a Cadillac Escalade that's the size of this hotel room. And they pull into. They're like, "Yo, come to parking lot C."
Like the more
what?
VIP area.
Not even. I don't
think it was, dude. But anyway, it's
So-
closer.
We're idling behind this fucking G-Wagon. It's a vintage one. It's tasteful. And I just see Liam like his hand out the window, just be like, yeah, like back there, like back there. I pull up. They're like, yeah, you guys are good. Apparently they were like, oh, we had to take 2 cars. We had to take 2 in the vintage G-Wagon and 2 guys in the 8-seater Esco.
Yeah, we had to split it up. Too big of a crew.
It was honestly a fucking miracle because without
Genius
this
move.
parking, we would have been stuck in like horrendous LA traffic, having to park a fucking.
I think
LA
we might
bullshit.
have bailed. I think there was a 50%.
I was
chance
very ready to bail.
Yeah, and also this was the thing where you were like, "Yo, figure this out. Like, if we're gonna go, like, it's on you. Like, make it happen." But yeah, shout out to fucking Canadian Angels. That is also what I'm not good with thinking on my feet, and I'm a bad problem solver. Ask anybody, you, Jenna, anyone who knows me. Liam just being like, "Oh yeah, we just had to take 2 cars." Okay, awesome. Gee, I would never thought of that. Dude.
Can't refute that.
No, that's fucking science, dude. 2 cars. There it is.
So the fucking goats and like and also shout out Avi for immediately just pointing at your Thomas and being like, "Yo, you fucking herb." Like,
no. So
he's like, "Yo, why are you wearing the most uncomfortable shoes of all time?"
So this is pretty funny because like you said the same thing in Chicago. Avi clearly likes sambas and he likes like Iraq collab sambas or Jason Dill sambas. But his whole thing is he goes, "Yo, I tried wearing sambas and after 2 weeks I had to stop and go see my podiatrist." And I was like, they don't hurt that bad.
They're a flat ass shoe. If you got high arches, they can be a little rough.
I do love the idea of Avi suffering for 2 weeks to try to like make a pair of whale boners work, but then he has to go see a
Says
foot
the
doctor.
dude who got fucking gangrene in the Loewe loafers.
Yeah, but now we're on sock mode and we're all good, baby. Old Twinkle Toes is back in the building.
All right, we still have to kind of sneak in, like using this off the strength of one. Like Liam airdrops me his QR code.
Right, because we're just on the list. We don't have any credentials.
Yeah, you have a screenshot of Travis's his own personal QR code.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, yo, QR codes, they get scanned and like they're done, right? You kill them.
Which honestly is, it's funny you mention that because that's the great lie of any event that uses QR codes. I do not believe that to be true. So for anyone at home, if you want to roll the dice, I can't say that I'm absolutely right or that James is absolutely wrong. Just show them a QR code and fucking roll the dice. I don't think the shits are non-transferable whatsoever. I think that's a fucking lie.
They try to scan your shit and a menu pops up.
Yeah, right. It's the fucking menu at Mother Wolf or some shit. But regardless, this is my biggest beef with events like this, and we'll talk about the whole spectacle because if it was anything, whether you love Fear of God or you hate Fear of God, this shit was a fucking spectacle.
Shout out Guy Debord
on the highest level. This like idea of it being so hard to go to this thing. For like, and I get there's mad VIPs, but like for the majority, something like we saw some issues that like Adidas employees were having, like people that are like, you know, quote unquote, kind of like part of the, you know, not Fear of God and Jerry's with Adidas, like you're part of the family, or like kind of fucking, you know, Clout adjacent guys like us. Why is it so hard to just go to something like this? Like, I feel like it shouldn't be that difficult. Like, I don't get it, dude.
I don't know. I mean, the logistics of this were like very impressive. Just to get like however many people, they didn't fill the bowl necessarily, but like however many people were just shuttled in and eventually just sat down in like either their assigned seats or in seats that like made sense to the point where like there was no like issues, it looked like, with seating or anything. Very impressive. Always very impressive. Always very impressive.
I do think they stuck the landing, even though it probably started an hour and a half late.
But what I was saying, I was like, yo, there's no way this starts before it gets dark.
Yeah, and you were right.
They needed the projector screens. They needed like the lights, the lighting, everything.
Yeah.
All right, so we do finesse our way in with fake QR codes. We do like line up unnecessarily a few times because eventually we did. Once you're in, you just go to your seat.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like no one's scanning shit.
Where the seat's at.
Yeah.
This was the clout chasing Olympics, where again, this is where we saw a lot of homies, a lot of New York-based homies. Two guys who we don't see in New York, who aren't in New York that we got to see and kick it with for the pre-show were John Buscemi, the best.
Nobody does it like Buscemi.
Nobody does it like Buscemi.
He is the only guy that I know of, and maybe some of our best friends behind the paywall also do this as well. He flexes that he is a $20 patron at every fucking chance,
which is awesome.
Which it makes you
feel
if
you're a $20
really
patron,
good.
That's your God-given right.
As
a $20 patron.
You pay for it to flex it, and I believe it says that you can say that you're close personal friends with us.
Angela was like,
Buscemi absolutely is.
Angela Rucci was like, yo, I'm a patron, and Buscemi's like, I'm a $20 patron.
Yeah, you're $5, dude. You're broke.
Sell, bitch.
Another funny interaction is we saw Justin Saunders, Mr. Jound himself. You guys had never met.
Yo, he was wearing the most maximalist fit of all time. Like fucking Kid Super level, like Bodie, just like crazy colors, like shit flying everywhere. I'm just saying, the whole Jound. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you're talking about Mid-Super, who we did see.
I'm just kidding. Justin was just wearing like very utilitarian, simple, elegant black.
Two funny things is we were walking up to him because I want to introduce you, and I hadn't seen him for many years. And he just goes, "It's the Fashion Bros!" And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take that. That's pretty good. He knows who we are.
All right.
And then the other thing that I thought was very funny is I was congratulating him on the Levi's collab, which he had just announced, and he was talking about, you know, the details on his 501s, and I was just giving Justin.
You're like Copper Hardware, sick.
I was giving just. I wasn't going schmozo mode with Justin. I was giving him his flowers because I think he's very talented, and I love Jound.
If someone needs flowers from Lauren Schlossman, it is Justin Saunders.
Yeah.
Who doesn't get enough flowers, and certainly not enough from you.
But just to prove his Canadian humbleness, which I thought was very funny, is I said something along the lines of like, yep, another tasteful collab from the GOAT. Schmozo mode a little bit. And he goes, tasteful? I don't know, man. I'm just like pretty boring. And I'm like, don't sell yourself short. You know
what it is?
Don't be that humble, Justin.
It's quiet luxury, dog.
Honestly, dude, is Jound stealth wealth? I don't know. Is Jound streetwear stealth wealth? I think it's grown man streetwear. Grown man stealth streetwear. It's fucking
stealthwear.
Stealthwear, dude. Blackbird spy plane stealth level.
Yeah, he was wearing fucking
advanced recon.
He was wearing Bodie. He was wearing
He's
Paisley.
He was wearing like black.
He's wearing Marnie
tuxedo.
mohair.
Oh.
He's wearing what?
And he's the only dude, and obviously, like, this is because I know he's Jound and I know he's Justin. I don't know if you just like saw him in a lineup of a bunch of other dudes. He is the only dude wearing Common Projects in 2023, and I'm like, do I need a pair of Common Projects now?
Wait, was he actually? Were they like the John Reeboks?
No, he's wearing Common Projects.
They're with the NPC shoes?
No. The NPC shoes are just club seats.
You weren't. Hold on. Are you still on this fucking double monk bullshit? Or has that passed you by?
No, I said I like single monks.
Okay, still on the single monk bullshit?
Yeah.
Okay,
so I have a pair from Morehouse.
Are you not seeing like, okay, I need, are single monks back? Are Common Projects back? Do you not see that you're the problem? That like, you need to.
I was kind of like making a joke about myself and how I'm influenced. I'm not actually going to buy Common Projects. With single monks, I think single monks are tasteful. Maybe they're boring. Maybe they're tasteful. We'll have to ask Justin. Anyway, I thought it was funny that he was just so humble that he calls his own taste level boring, which maybe is the appeal.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's inoffensive.
He's more. That's what a regular person does. They're not like if you're hyping him up and you're like gassing and sucking his dick and
oh please,
no, and I'm sure he gets it not just from people like the entire internet, right? Like he's just a regular guy. That's like he downplays it,
and
which
that's
is
why
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And that's why he's a GOAT in my opinion, because he is absolutely just the best
Just
regular
by
guy.
acting like a regular guy.
He's like, yeah, I showed up with my wife like 5 hours ago. He's like, I've just been hanging out. He's like, I don't know, I was trying to be prompt.
I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, your fucking Tumblr saved my life.
I mean, shit, it probably saved some out there, bro.
Yeah, great titties.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the actual
French titties.
Let's talk about the actual event because it's been an hour.
wow.
Mostly just kvetching about Tyga. So we get in there, we find our seats. The Hollywood Bowl. You and I had never been there. Super, very beautiful, amazing venue.
Incredible.
And I think like just from
Mind-blowing.
front to back, the whole thing. Whatever you think about Fear of God, whatever you think about Jerry Lorenzo, whatever you think about the fucking cloud chasing Olympics, that was the Fear of God event 2 nights ago. It was I thought it was a very nice evening. It was like a great show. Like called a spectacle, called a fashion show.
An evening with Jerry Lorenzo at the Hollywood Bowl to celebrate 10 years of Fear of God.
Damn, 10 years?
Yeah. Well, that was the impetus.
Okay.
Here's the deal. Jerry clearly wanted to make a fucking statement as like 10 years for sure, a decade in the fucking game, as like the king of LA, making sure that like everybody, ourselves included, was there to bear witness to this moment. And I think he succeeded, bro.
See,
he went hard as fuck.
I disagree. As far as spectacles go, I think it was a very nice, beautiful evening, and it was like I think it kind of documented or like the guiding North Star, pun intended, was like the Black experience in America.
Sure.
Given the music, given the visuals, given kind of a lot of visual cues.
I did catch you Shazamming gospel, which I thought was very sweet.
Sorry that I want to educate myself on Dinah Washington. I knew the Nina Simone and everything else, but this one beautiful song that was just the most simple guitar and Dinah? Dina? I don't know. Again, I don't know.
You're the one who Shazammed it,
trying to educate
baby.
myself. Sorry that I care about the Black experience in America, and you're just like, yo, is Kanye here?
No.
Yo, is Kanye here?
First of all, Kanye was there, and but I don't think I was.
You're just fucking. You're just trying to. You're on Instagram. You're on Instagram while Nina Simone "Blood on the Leaves" is playing.
I don't recall that happened. I plead the fifth on that. I don't know what you're talking about. By the way, you're the one when the beat drop happens from Nina Simone to Ye. I
hit you once.
Oh, you fucking hit me, dude. I might have a bruise from how hard you hit me.
Instead, it was C Murda, which is honestly arguably just as good.
I wonder if they'll ever like release that C Murda Blood on the Leaves. What is that?
I don't know.
All right, we're getting a call. Let's see. It's our. Bet you it's Nike's. We got to pick up, dude. We're getting a Nike delivery. Shout out, Matt. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you. All right, so James is talking to the front desk. We're going to get the shoes. We'll go to the front desk when we're done. Cool. Don't let it ring. That's like the most
All right.
So Sampha opens up the runway show. Okay.
Beautiful. Just a single piano, a single artist.
I timed it.
No one knows me like the piano in my mother's home. Gorgeous line.
Beautiful song. I'm not a Sampha fan or even that knowledgeable of his work outside of the many Drake features he has, which I really do enjoy. I will say that was just a 15-minute mini, because I timed it, Sampha concert to open things up, which like pretty impressive, dude.
Yeah,
I was not expecting that. Then we have the runway show. We couldn't see a single garment.
Yes,
whatsoever.
it was a fashion show that, and I'll say this as someone just sitting there, new to the Hollywood Bowl, like. Enjoying Sampha's music, enjoying like the music that led up to Sampha, enjoying the Pusha T verse afterwards, enjoying the fireworks, seeing like a lot of friends, old and new. Again, it was a very nice evening. However, I think that this entire thing, just like every other big marketing activation today, isn't done in service to the people present. It's done to look fire on social media and to like garner as much social media creation as possible there. Which is why we're sitting there at the fashion show, and I'm like, are they wearing is that an overcoat? Shoes?
And
they wear shoes?
And when we were debating, like, going in the first place, whether we're going to have time, whether it's worth, jumping through all the hoops and sending out all the tests and asking for all the favors, you made the point, which, honestly, you can make about every fucking fashion show these days, and it's because it's a correct one. I'll just see it on Vogue Runway. If I want to actually, like, look at the clothes, like, I'll just see. Or
I saw it on Jerry's grid this morning.
Exactly. I do think, and
I'm like, yo, Fish Money was there. What the fuck?
Yeah, yo, we've seen a lot of Fish
Shout
Money
out
this
Fish.
week. Shout out Fish Money be everywhere, bro.
Yo, he's a third mic.
Mr. Money is the
He's the
unofficial
third
third mic of throwing fits.
He's haunting throwing fits.
He is the
He's a Black Dahlia.
the ghost of Fish Money, dude. The one thing I'll say about fear of God, and feel free to disagree, and I know you will because we've talked about this a bit, but I really think that, and this is essentials aside, and I get that like they sell, from what I hear, hundreds of millions of dollars in essential, and that
Gross.
is like the foundational shit that funds this entire operation. Not to mention now they got the Adidas checks as well. When I say they, but I mean Jerry. I think that in the post Fear of God X Xenia world, the kind of learnings, and I'm because working with Xenia, I mean Xenia is like, that's like lore piano level. I don't know if like the audience gives a shit or has ever touched that stuff or even is aware, but it's like up there. I really think he's taken like a lot of that in terms of like that Italian elegant tailoring, and Fear of God in this post Xenia collab world has reached a level that now I'm like, are these clothes underrated? I can't afford it, and I don't know who's buying it, but like to me, the tailoring and the fucking big coats, like the shit fucking slaps, bro.
Big coat over big pants is gonna look fire like 9 times out of 10.
Fair.
Yes, I think that just like the first season of Fear of God kind of ushered in this archetype of like white trash, skinhead, grunge with the sleeveless flannels over like the drop crotch. Like that was an aesthetic that was arguably as influential, or like was such a fucking flag in the ground that like people I think kind of don't really remember. Like the first Fear of God lookbook was fire.
Yeah, and it was ripped off to no end too.
For years.
Like,
It was
inspired a generation of biters.
It was the OG ALD lookbook.
It really was.
Just everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
And then I think that this pivot is like it's a demarcation of like, and we talked about the sponsor. It's like you want your fan base to grow with you, right?
Absolutely.
So this is now what Jerry's into, where it's like the grown tailoring, the Italian resources and capabilities that he now has at his disposal with like the Xenia shit, with the Adidas dollars, with just like what he's into. Dog, it's very expensive. It is. I looked up. I was like, wait,
it's crazy.
I was like, wait, how much is Fear of God these days? So I looked up. It's a $2,000 or like mid $1,000 for a blazer.
Yeah,
made of like an Italian wool.
Sure.
Which I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm sure it's cut immaculately and very like
well
sits on certain body types very well. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, something's got to fund the rumored $12 million production fee for this fucking show. That's what I heard.
There's no fucking way.
What, you think it could be more?
No, I think it's way less. What could have cost $12 million? Like we talked, Liam, who I trust his opinion on this, was like, yo, $250 for the casting.
Right.
Let's say $1 million for
Push.
Let's say $1 million for not for Push. Let's say $1 million for Push and Sampha.
I mean,
together.
Push gave Jerry a customized verse, Mad Lib style, which was pretty fucking sick. Debuting the new
buy you essentials, fly you out.
Yeah, do not compare Jerry to these other designers. Yeah, Jerry is not to be compared to these other designers.
You're a cinema man. Do you know the movie Baraka?
No.
It's actually more of an art film. It's experimental.
I don't like that stuff at all.
Yeah, it's actually fire. But
really?
It's okay, fucking cinema guy over here, John Ford.
I'm a fucking letterbox cinema, bruh.
I only watch westerns where the cowboys totally aren't fucking each other in the tent.
I'm not gonna pretend like I watch any John Ford movies, but Michael Clayton.
Oh yeah, Michael Clayton fucking the guy in the poker game.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, he's in the bar. Michael Clayton's in debt to the gay bar.
No, he's just in debt. Him and his brother, they fail on a bar and they're in debt to the mob, presumably some organized crime.
You should watch Baraka, but there's this one thing where it's just like random clips. It's like
so there's no narrative.
There kind of is. It's like chicken. There's like you can connect dots. So there's like the chickens in a slaughterhouse, right? And then it cuts to like the Shibuya.
Sounds like your favorite movie, EO.
And then it cuts to the Shibuya crossing, right?
Okay.
So it's like like people are just herded like animals. Then it cuts to
watch this in college or something.
Yeah, it's a very college ass movie where you just like get really high and like watch this movie, but it's fine.
I meant like in class or something.
No.
Either way.
But there's this one. It's called the Monkey Ritual, where it's just like this tribe in Indonesia, where I swear to God, Kid Cudi sampled this for that song, where they just do this like it's a bunch of guys. It's like this religious ceremony, and they're fucking imitating monkeys.
Okay.
And they definitely are doing.
The Kids See Ghosts song.
Yeah, exactly. That Push performed last night.
Yeah.
For 20 seconds.
Yeah, and then we just mentioned the
But
fireworks.
12 mil. There's no way.
Okay,
the fireworks weren't even that crazy.
That's a rumor. That's a rumor anyway.
It's got to be
the record.
single million, 7 figures.
Okay.
Not 8.
Okay. Either way, you're right. Line of demarcation, flag plant.
You know what I got?
Ground, fucking statement.
When
made,
when they brought all the bottles out and had them like stand, and it was kind of like in like a color story. Yeah. I got a little bit of a flashback to Yeezy season 1.
Our boy Ye was in the audience with his new wife. He was going, and everyone's seen these clips, so it doesn't feel as of the moment right now. But he was going fucking buck wild when the beat flipped to his own song, "Blood on the Leaves." He was going nuts.
No, he's going nuts to see Murda.
I saw him go nuts at the video of the beat drop, and then continuing to go nuts when it was See Murda.
But did you not get flashbacks to Yeezy season 1 where it's
absolutely.
like here's all the
and Ian Connor and Young
No,
Thug?
that was 2. That was like the Life of Pablo shit. But the first one was like small, where like Anna Wintour, Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce.
Sure, I know what you're talking about.
And it was like Ian Connor, the little white girl with the big ass and the blue eyes. You know what I'm talking about?
Blue.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Amina blew myself.
Yeah. I followed her on Instagram until she had her second kid.
You don't think, like, I got that. And again, it's kind of like, okay, that was, what was Yeezy season 1, like 2015, 2014?
Yeah.
So 10 years later, I think that there's a through line from like the Yeezy shit where it was like super exaggerated silhouettes, like crazy earth tones into what we saw last night.
I mean, Jerry's entire, career is linked with Ye's.
Yeah.
I mean,
not anymore.
Not anymore. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way. Like, I think Jerry has really made a name for himself. Only second to Virgil in terms of like the co-conspirators and collaborators that helped build Kanye's like entire visual identity that made him the GOAT that he is.
People are saying like there were like Rick Owens vibes, the Xenia, but
they're always having.
That's what again, this is personal opinion. What struck to me was kind of like the timeline evolution or demarcation where you had like Yeezy, you had Fog 10 years ago putting out the fucking white trash skinhead shit. You had Yeezy like a year later doing like the crazy, like what we've seen only in the 10 years. And then
fits.
The dusty fits. And then like the Doom-apocalypse shit. And then like this is kind of like the grown man version of that.
Yeah.
Where it was just
the
like.
audience hopefully has grown along with Jerry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to see like fucking like whoever the Ian Connor of today is wearing like big overcoats.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, here's the thing. And this, you could say the same thing for about a lot of brands, whether it's fucking Stussy or ALD or whatever, any kind of streetwear adjacent brand, even if Jerry's operating at a crazy price point. There's all the fucking basic essential logo stuff that is gonna fucking move units, and you do that to enable this like higher level big brain cut and sew that like
it's like Polo and Ralph.
And you might never realize you're even seeing it on the street, but like clearly there's a market for it, and Jerry wouldn't be like the new kind of superstar at Adidas if it wasn't for all that other stuff. So I feel like the proof is in the pudding there.
I guess. And then what's hilarious is that as we're walking out, and you knew this ahead of time, they were selling merch at the fashion show, which we got some clarification that it wasn't maybe
it's his boy.
Fear of God merch, but like that was the fact that there was like you could buy clothes.
It's
at
crazy.
This place.
You
could buy sweats and tees and hoodies. Like,
and to be clear, like while they didn't sell, we thought they might have even been selling tickets to this thing because like to get 3,000 people. That is quite a fucking.
It's only 3,000.
Hefty head count. I mean, that's crazy at a fashion show. Even at these destination shows, I don't know if anyone is like. And the bowl wasn't packed, but like at least to that mid level, there were it's pretty fucking.
Yeah, like 3 rows above us.
Yeah, every seat was filled. The asses were in seats. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we're at this fucking point where, like, but yeah, I guess what I'm saying, sorry, I lost my train of thought. There's people there that are not just, like, industry people or even industry adjacent like us. Like, there are kind of, like, fans, kind of, that, like, got their way in because, again, we're trying to fill this thing out. And, like, yeah, they're going to buy merch, and apparently it was Jerry's Boys brand selling, like, the Fear of God fashion show at the Hollywood Bowl merch, but it's not actually Fear of God stuff.
Right.
So shout out to him for putting his boy on, and you are a fucking mark if you copped. But it's crazy.
Damn, we should have looked if it was like being sold on grilled. I bet it definitely was.
But to your point, and then we can move on because like I know we have to go get tattoos here and we got some more stuff to talk about.
Oh,
but,
dude,
like,
I'm gonna have to speed up. You're gonna have to follow my lead on the back. On the back
fine.
nine here.
I'll sit shotgun.
We're gonna have to play through.
Just like again, like these, like you said, these things exist not to see the clothes, not for fucking buyers, not even for real heads. They exist for social media and they exist to create FOMO, and that is ultimately why you also sell merch and why they probably sold a shit ton of it.
Visually, I think is great. I think it plays online great. Being in person, in terms of being a fucking spectacle, no, not a spectacle. But it was a very nice evening. It was great to be there. Great to be there with you. Afterwards, I was fucking dying of hunger. We went to In-N-Out. Last week, we started the fucking rank the Carters, white guys ranking Carter albums shit. This week, In-N-Out, overrated.
Yeah, it's so overrated. It blows my mind every time. I still want to eat it. We're not going to be basic and fucking gram it like some fucking loser transplant. It is absolutely fine. I love that it's cheap. And I have finally learned, thanks to Reels and thanks to TikTok, you got to get the fries light well or well done, whatever, but you got to fucking keep them in the fryer for a little bit longer to make them even edible. And I feel like you agree. Because you normally were like,
yeah, but I'm still...
you didn't even get fries.
Just like I do the same shit at Shake Shack. I am not there for the fries. Although I have come around on Crinkle Cut, but just not Shake Shack. Shake Shack fries are not it. In-N-Out fries, even fucking light well or medium well or whatever, not it.
Oh, really? I thought
You're just there for
pleasantly surprised.
I'm just there for the yeah, but they're still not. I was like, these still need hella salt. I think people get too wrapped up in the fucking lore about like the secret menu and animal sound, all this bullshit. Like you even like ask for like fried mustard or something.
Grilled mustard, yeah.
But I didn't
realize they just do that on animal style, so it's just get animal style.
I just get 2 cheeseburgers, animal style. That's it. It's a good burger. Yeah. I think it helps that we never have it because we're never in fucking California. Mm-hmm. But when I'm in California, it's not like, yo, I'm touching down, I'm hitting fucking.
We didn't get it last
smoking
time.
that In-N-Out pack.
It's like nothing else is open. We're leaving the show. It's fucking 11.
There's one like 5 minutes away. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and you wait for fucking mad long too. And I get because it's not fast food. It's supposed to be fresh.
It's cool that they like send their kids. They give their kids like scholarships.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
It was a very Christian evening. In-N-Out, very religious, I believe.
Oh, really?
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Leave your comment.
One more thought. Had a milkshake there for the first time. Got a vanilla milkshake. I thought it was quite good.
Okay. All right. The next day, Thursday. We go to El Russo Taco Truck, our number one fucking spot. We learn while waiting that Lil Wayne is not happening, so we order Tyga. Sorry, Tyga. So we order a second round of tacos.
Jesus.
I know we got to get going, dog. We each got shat on.
Yeah, which is supposed to be
we kind of talked about already.
Yeah, which is supposed to be good luck, but for us, it was just kind of foreboding to the fact that like Tyga was ultimately not going to happen because the scrambling at that time was doing us no fucking favors.
We were there at 11 a.m. Like, the truck wasn't even kind of open. They still took our orders. The only guy that ordered...
camped out, bro. We lined up like fucking ALD, dude, to get El Russo.
Like fogheads.
Yeah, dude.
The only person that was there before us was this dude, and shout out Cole, our new best friend and the people's champ in the last Friday fiasco. You tell the story.
Yeah, and I love Metalwood. I love Cole, and I'm happy that people are fucking wearing these hats and putting on... but you kind of don't want to pull up to El Russo, and of the 3 people, 2 of you guys be like Spider-Man memeing in Metalwood.
And this guy was like, "Oh fuck,
And this fucking guy, I kind of was like, all right, I'm gonna lean into it. You're already like fucking snickering because like you're a fucking statistic. Like
I was trying to go yo to like catch both your attention.
I was trying to be like, yo, my guy, and he was like, yeah.
This fucking loser. Look
at this homeless guy in his ripped jeans. He looks like fucking shit. Where did he get a medal?
This podcast is looking a little light in the loafers. He's wearing the same fucking hat as me.
I will say Cole is succeeding because this was a golf guy who, if it wasn't for like the Metalwood injection of swag, he would be a complete fucking Bearzer.
Do you think that he was a Larry clone or a Gashi clone?
He was not a Larry clone because when Larry tried to fucking acknowledge his existence, he was embarrassed for himself.
Yes.
So I'm going to say not me.
Tyga out the way. We have a whole afternoon free. Again, this is kind of like what I hate is that it's like, plans change. What are we going to do? Luckily, just down the road, Mohawk General Store.
You know what we did? The boys went shopping.
What's going to happen when Jimmy's having a fucking shitty day. Jimmy's gonna drown his sorrows in retail therapy.
Retail therapy always hits every time.
Mohawk, honestly, we say it all the time. Best store in LA.
Yep.
One of the best stores in the country.
Oh,
in the world.
Haul time. I mean, you're wearing most of your haul.
All right,
but you
so
went vacation shopping.
Italy Fit. So I got the Needles shorts. Needles, is Needles back? I don't know. Leave your comment in the fucking comments. But
Needles
it's like
hasn't gone anywhere. You're just a hater.
Needles got again it's one of these brands where it's like it got oversaturated. Needles has done some fucking suspect shit like without certain people at the company. I think like their social media's gotten a little crazy. Their collabs have been fucking wild.
I'm not here to debate like social media prowess, but
their collabs have been a little wild. You can agree with me on that. I think that the Mariposa, they went heavy on the logo shit after like the success of the track pants and the track jacket. The Mariposa has been everywhere. And look, this is a butterfly themed print, but I think it's abstract enough where you can't see.
Right, you can't tell.
You don't know
it just
this is
looks
Mariposa.
like,
It's got the gold thread going up the fucking verties.
Mariposa.
Anyway,
you got a matching top.
Got the matching shirt. I'm not gonna wear these together because I'm not a fucking.
Yo, a guy just hit me. He was like, "Yo, can you I'm going on vacation. Can you recommend some sets?" I'm like, "Yo, we're not really. Were we ever doing sets?" I'm like, "We're not doing sets."
Well, this is now the second set that I have.
But you never. My point is, we're not wearing sets.
Maybe ironically, or like at a fucking like dumb like
Darty,
like a Dager.
Yeah, maybe a Darty. Yeah. But either way, we're not doing sets, boys.
You still say Darty? It's Dager now.
According to who, dude?
Barstool Sports.
Barstool Sports.
We talked about the Roa. We talked about the Max Field.
Oh, I did some. I have to call it out. I did some Stolen Valor. I did some gardening Stolen Valor. I tried on the Plasticana Gardana clogs, which you were like, bro, you're just gonna be another fucking dude in Brooklyn pretending he gardens.
That's the male tabby.
Okay, honestly, you're right. And that's never stopped Larry before, and it's not going to stop me now. I did not buy them because I just like everyone else who's tried with these, you got to do a full size down, and they were out of my size. But if you do want to buy some recycled French clogs for like $75, size down a full size.
And Mohawk was one of the early purveyors of that were like pushing that sneaker.
I first saw them
exactly
when we did our first block party fucking 2 years ago, before they fucking were polluting.
You know what's
Brooklyn.
funny? The last time I did dressing room Stolen Valor, which is a fucking plague that is running amok, was at Mohawk General Store because it's so good. The edit is so tight. Everything is fucking slapping. You learn new brands. When a brand starts doing,
you say everything was slappy or slapping?
Both.
Oh, I like that.
Everything was slappy, dude. That's
Slapsky. You learn new brands, or like if you're like, oh shit, I really fuck with this brand, but I've only seen it online. It's probably at Mohawk.
Yeah.
They have this one brand, not just the Roa apparel, but it's called like J La 6 or some shit. It is very expensive. So fire.
Of course.
So I blew a fucking bag and a half at Mohawk on the set and the Roa. But I had to. Mm-hmm. No, sorry. This was just one rack. The half rack was spent on the Versace Sunnies at Varsity and the 194. Sorry, and then what I haven't shown are the Real Tree Wranglers with the
those are sick, bro.
with the ankle drawstrings, which just fit me really fucking well.
I can't wait to see him in person.
I just love.
You never really wear camo. Can't wait.
Not really. I have like some vintage camo, like a frog camo, which is actually fire from that I copped at a vintage guy when Capsule had a vintage selection.
Mm-hmm, I remember.
I forget what it's called, but I think he still follows me on IG. So let me know. But I just love the way it fit. So that's me.
Yeah. So
you have other silver tabs.
So I got the silver tabs at 194, and then shout out Aaron Levine, who's like, yo, when you go, because we knew about 194 because they did the collab with Levi's on the fire silver tabs in the pistachio green.
Yeah.
And with other colorways. But then next door, he's like, go to Varsity for all your non-silver tab needs, 501s, 505s, 517s, like we said. And shout out Jose. And then Larry, I can never have enough jeans. I just bought another vintage pair of 501s that are fucking perfecto.
Okay, again, just running real quick because we do have to go tattooed. We then pod with 24K Golden, who's just like, honestly, like,
that rock.
It's super refreshing to have like a little bit of a bitter, sour taste left in your mouth from the Tyga fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
But then,
and rappers in general. Dude.
And then kind of and then the flip side of that, it's like, all right, here's this 22-year-old kid had a #1 song. We're going to like his stylist crib, which is like shout out B.
Shout out B, superhero.
We don't really know that much about Golden. Turns out just be like the nicest guy.
Great
like,
conversation.
Down to clown.
So down to
Put up with our
down.
bullshit. Kind of like gave it back to us a little bit.
He was like familiar with some stuff with the pod too. He was like, he said something that was so funny, and this is us sucking our own dick, or me sucking our own dicks a bit. He's like, yeah, I fuck with the show. Like, I've seen a bunch of stuff. He was like, the way I approach it, he's like, I hope I could get on Throwing Fits one day. We're like, what, bro? Like,
Done.
Like, no, not even because like, and like obviously like we booked him through like. We use some great fucking music industry connects to make all these music pods happen, whether it's fucking Diplo or Tyga, TBD or Golden. But like, yeah, he was just like, I didn't think I was at that level. We're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You have a number one fucking song that is quite slappy.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself, Stream Mood. That shit is a fucking mood.
Also,
bro.
the one that we put on, there was another song that we were like, yo, this
Valentino
is fucking,
is gas.
Not even, it wasn't Valentino.
Oh, the Future song was really good.
It was some other shit. We were just like, yo, slappy.
Yeah, no, fucking his shit is good. If anything, I think you
know what it is? You know what it is? It's fucking L.A. car riding music.
Yeah, it's
with
whip music
the whip
for sure.
test. He passed the whip test with flying colors.
22-year-old, great head on his shoulders. I think he is definitely like not just like next up in music, but we've learned, dude, his knowledge and taste level when it comes to gear, he is. We always are like, we ask people, oh, you think you're underrated? And whatever their answer is, like, let them speak for themselves. I agree with Golden. He is, and we said he's underrated as fuck.
You know how this is all I got to say. We sent the fit pick around to the group chat, and Sean was like, "Yo, fire vintage tee."
Yeah.
It was like some reference to like only
he
Sean
recognized
knew.
the yay
whatever the
area.
fuck.
He recognized it. Real recognized real.
All right, we finally have a fire sit-down meal where we went to Manuela, which was on the advice of my LA food homies, with Mikey the Hitman. I wasn't expecting much in terms of food, but the food was phenomenal. Was really fucking good.
I got it.
Even though Mikey doesn't eat vegetables, so like you and I, and like we missed out on the grilled snap or the charred snap peas, which I was interested in, but
I love
and a salad. But
I
all
love
good.
Mikey. He eats like a fucking child.
And then you guys, I was just tearing into that chicken while you guys were just fucking clucking like hens over deep cut dime square gossip. Like,
I mean,
and then this guy's newsletter talked about that guy's newsletter.
There was no newsletter.
And then this guy funded that guy's film.
Nah, we were fucking chopping up. I will say the big takeaway for me, besides the fact that I love Mikey and he's one of my favorite guys, dude, and I did the same thing when I did my joint birthday party with my mom. I think the new move is pork chops, dude.
I love a pork chop.
It's so fucking good. It's the best move. Done well, bone in. You like a little fucking sauce situation? Like
the other white meat.
for real, dude. I think I'm porked up on camera, bro.
I'm torqued for pork.
I'm a fucking chopsman.
I did half chicken. It was gas. The pork chop served as a steak.
I
In terms of
like
just
that.
like that's you. Me. In terms of just it like just laying there on a plate and you just like cut it up and eat it. I don't know. I like a sauce. I like a little salad underneath. I like a little side veggie. I like fucking mixing up and getting different flavor, different bites. I like a white barbecue sauce. I like the mustard barbecue sauce.
An Alabama white sauce.
A mutard?
Yeah.
A fucking mutard, baby?
What do you call me? I do love it when it's served a la porterhouse, where it's was cooked with the bone.
Was it sliced for you?
Yeah.
Oh, they sliced it
I don't
up?
mind that, but keep the bone because I know you saw. I got to gnaw.
You nod?
The big dog needs a bone to gnaw on.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah, bro.
Come on now. I'm going to do that
I'm
at the
not-
table with my hands.
I'm not arguing against
Fuck you, Dad.
Yo, you snap it. You got to snap it
I
to
wasn't
make the
gonna
bone gnawing
fucking-
more manageable.
I wasn't going to go fucking bone crusher mode, but I ain't never scared.
Attention! All
right, what's
oh,
next?
C Murda, Blood on the Leaf, or C Murda, my neighbors. That's the
You
outro
want that?
music.
I mean,
Absolutely.
You said it, dude.
What's
do
next?
today?
I was just a little. We had a little nightcap in the bar downstairs. I was a little taken aback that you had a fucking martini, like right before bedtime. Which I was like, all right, you're trying to get fucked up before bedtime. Go off.
I was-
King.
I was-
I have to go take a shit. I'm going upstairs.
I did also have to leave as well after I finished the martini. The 2 sips you left me with when you absconded and bounced, but I also took a big shit. But I guess I was just juiced. Maybe I should have done a little more like come down fucking digestive, but I was just juiced on fucking Mikey blasting CKY in his fucking Audi dropping us off. I might have just been a little torqued up for the fellas, but it is
Torqued
what
off
it
the
is.
pork.
Yeah.
Nice. I was so tired that I fell into bed and I was like, I forgot to brush my teeth.
Disgusting.
I was like, wait, I can still see. I forgot to go to the bathroom and do my shit. So I just took my contacts out, threw them on the floor. I was like, I'm too tired to brush my teeth.
Floss after eating fucking asparagus at least.
I was like, I'm gonna be up in 4 hours because like I can't sleep past like 4:30 in the morning
Yeah.
here. I'm just gonna fucking handle all that in the next 4 hours.
Yeah, that was a great meal though, and honestly, like fucking pretty easy to get a reservation for any of our fucking LA friends. Check it out. See me.
Yeah, I think
it's not like, and there's a little bit of a vibe. It's in the arts district, which nobody goes to.
It's in downtown,
it's
so
trash,
yeah, it's in
that's the
downtown.
reason,
So like, if you
but-
need a spot in downtown for whatever reason, like that's all you. Okay, we do have to go because we are getting tattoos from our guy, Mr. Lou. Tattoo reveal on the next episode. Larry knows what he wants. We're breaking his fuck. We're popping his cherry. Woo! We're popping your
I'm
ink
getting
cherry.
my bones crushed.
It's gonna be
Llewellyn.
good. I'm very excited. I'll probably just post a photo of you wincing on IG if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
As long as I can keep my shirt on.
Again, this has been another episode of the only. I guess I have to take mine off, huh?
You're gonna have to.
Yo,
be shirtless.
don't wear a long sleeve.
No, I'm changing into the short sleeve
Okay.
MF Pen TF joint that Daniel wore to lunch today.
And then we got a lunch dessert at El Russo Taco again.
Yeah.
Just thinking about those tacos make me hungry. Okay.
Numero
This
dos.
has been another episode of The Only Podcast Matters.
Yeah.
Chef, take us out.
See you boys back in New York next week, baby.